Hello and welcome to the Items and Abilities Guide. In this video we're going to look at Voltar's Healing Wave. So it's a unique item in itself. This is something that you can use to make money with, keep your allies healed, heals droids as well. So we'll take a quick look at the stats. So it says it heals 10 plus 20. That's not right because it starts off at 20 and adds 20 to Awesomenauts. So 20 at the minimum on droids and then 40 at the minimum on allied Awesomenauts. So looking at the base, it can go from 20, it does go up to 100, and it has that 20 onto allied Awesomenauts, so 100 max by itself on droids, or 120 for allied Awesomenauts. Attack speed is 75, so 60 divided by 75 is 0.8, so should be every 0.8 seconds you can use your heal wave. And range is 4.8. I don't really know what the range is supposed to represent, like what metric system or imperial or anything like that. 4.8 is this. So you do have to stay close to your allies. Where you are the healer, you need to be protected if you want to be able to do your job, unless you can deck out some other abilities. And we're talking about making extra money with the healing wave. Solar per heal is 1.5%. So what that means is the game engine calculates how much you heal somebody. If the number times the percentage rounds up to a whole number, it will give you that amount in solar. It doesn't give you half a solar or a solar and a quarter. It has to round out to a whole. It has to round out to 0.0. If the percentage, like say you heal somebody, let's say 20 times 1.5%, that's 0.3. If it's 0.5 or lower, you're not going to get paid on solar. I believe you have to heal somebody at least 35, so you have to heal droids at least 35 if you want to get paid any. So I'll find a place. I just got bots on the absolute lowest. So on its full, you heal droids for 100 by itself. You can heal allies by 40 if you just hold down. And on droids it's just 20, so bear that in mind. So if you want to get paid the absolute minimum, if you hold it down for Awesomenauts, it will stay that way. And so see 32, not get anything. 25, not get anything. 59, yes, where I'm healing two droids at once that both have damage, they each get healed up. But if I try to heal them at the fullest, 100, I still get the 1. So it seems to be from 35 to 100 on the base ability, you only get 1 solar per target. However, if you get any more than that on an Awesomenaut, for example, you'll get 2. So it seems to round up to another solar piece. So yeah, that's kind of the base range. You have to stay in close range to people, and the healing wave can go through people, so you can make good use of that. Or if you wish to charge it up, if you're going for more charge based playstyle, or if you're just going for more spammy heal style. Depends on what items you wish to build onto that. And we will have a look at the items as well. Looking at the first item, Happy Thoughts, can be bought twice, 160 solar each time. And what it does is that it adds a minimum of 20 healing to your heal wave. So it will add either 40 minimum to droids or 60 minimum to allied Awesomenauts. So if you're going for more, try to heal as often as you can, more using your charge. It does benefit charge as well, so we'll add 20 to the 100 or 120, so 120 and 140. As you can see there, so I gave 120 to a droid, or I can just do 40. So just one upgrade of Happy Thoughts, I can just hold down the healing wave and I'll get paid. And even on base, you can see that I get 60. So it gives you a little bit more at a time. You don't get an extra piece of solar. I don't believe so. Yeah, it doesn't round up to another piece. So if you're going for more held down type of healing, or you just want to strengthen that charged healing a little bit better, Happy Thoughts is a great way to do that, and it helps you make a little money. You don't have to wait as long to charge up if you're going for the minimum amount of healing in order to get try to get the most amount of solar from the least amount of healing, that type of thing. So it can work pretty well in that favor. Take care of him. So we'll have a look at it when it's upgraded again. So you can do it twice. So that will add another 20. So it will be 60 to droids or 80 to allied Awesomenauts. Okay, we'll find some examples. So when I have it fully charged, I'll get 140 off droids. So it does 60 on its own, just to droids. So it does work quite well for healing droids if you're going from that type of playstyle and you're trying to keep the healing applied often. Get out of here. So even if you hold it down all the way, 140. So I'll find an Oceanaut to heal up. So here's that on the full. 160, and I seem to still get 2 solar. So if you're going for a decent payout, healing up Happy Thoughts is a quick way of doing that. So doing like that, 140, even then, 80. Minimum is applied to allied Oceanauts. So this, if you prefer to apply your healing often, or you're just trying to go for a quick payout, this can work quite well with that. On to item number 2, probably one of my favorites, the Psycho-Connect Repulsion. 135 solar, and it adds a knockback to your healing wave. It only applies that to when you have it mostly charged up. I'll show you how it works. So when you have it fully charged up, your wave looks a little bit different. It's kind of got like a couple circles added to the graphic. That just means the knockback is active. If you hold it down, it's not going to work no matter how long you have the button held down. You have to charge it at the point where those little icons, the medical icons, are spinning faster. Because at that point, it's not doing anything. But when it goes faster, that seems to be the minimum you can get away with. So if you're going for more self-defensive playstyle, or just want to push those droids back and get no one else to do it, this is an excellent item to do it, and quite cheap as well. So if this Leon's being a problem, these droids being a problem, just push them away. Or someone's trying to get to the turret, and I got no backup. Especially people who are challenged. It can especially work for that. You can't use it too much, or else this kind of happens. The droids kind of get blocked off. But if they are a problem, just get them away, buy some time for you and your team. So it can work quite well in being able to protect yourself. I use it a lot against Leons or people who are trying to chase after me. So like these guys are after me, just do that. Affects multiple people, works very nicely against Naila. The lighter the person is, the more effective they'll be. Clunk's not a lot, but if they get their explosion charging up, you can knock them away just enough to get them out of the way. So it's one of my personal recommendations, especially if you're playing solo or you don't have people you don't really trust. Just in case your allies don't protect you all that well, or if you don't feel safe against the enemy assassins, it's a great backup to have. You just have to charge that heal wave up a little bit. That's the only thing. It used to be able to, every second heal, it would apply knockback, but it doesn't do it anymore. You have to kind of think a bit more to be more tactical, be more defensive that way. So yeah, works very, very well for Voltar explosion capabilities, or just for self-defense against threatening Oceanauts. This is the Psycho Thrust. Can be bought twice, 155 solar each. All it does is it increases the range of your healing wave. So where it's 4.8 by itself, it adds 2.4, which will make it 7.2. Or you can do it again to make it 9.6. So you can double it if you wish to. Buying it twice. Buying it once adds an extra half of the range, or buying it twice will increase the range itself. So looking at the range like this, if this isn't enough of a range to you, or if your allies are being too reckless, dangerous, or you just can't get close enough, people using burst attacks, Clunk's using explosion, that type of thing, try this item out and see if that helps you get some healing in without being too uncomfortable while doing it. I can understand why people might use this. A lot of Voltars use this item for damage, but it works quite nicely if you're just not comfortable getting too close to the action. So it can work for Voltars who are newer, or they don't really get a full grip of the range. So instead of having to be that close and getting picked at by the enemies, I can stay back a little bit and do it that way. So even if I add another range, it's that now. So I can stay further back and keep myself safer. However, do bear in mind, if if you're going to be more by yourself, you have to be careful of assassins trying to sneak up on you, or somebody just trying to attack you while you're not paying attention to them. So where you could be closer to your allies or droids and be protected by them, you're risking leaving yourself out in the open and being picked out by a Leon or anybody who has invincibility or somebody with a nuking ability. So do be careful of that. You might want to combine this with a damaging item just in case that might happen. It combines quite well with that, but it works very well if you don't really have the range down or if you're just not comfortable getting close. So there are pros and cons to this item. Do bear that in mind. The nice thing about it is you can steal Pierce. It goes through everybody. So if there's a whole bunch of allies or enemies in front of me, I can either heal or do damage if I have the damaging item. So if there was a whole platoon of droids in front of me, I could heal each and every one of them and stay at a safe range. Like so. Works out quite well in that regard. This is perhaps arguably the most important item in the belt. A lot of Voltars don't know how to use this, so I'm going to try to explain this to the best of my ability. This is the Dreams of Greed. This item gives you an extra 0.5% to your 1.5% of your commission, per se. So it basically, you can heal less and you can still get paid solar, or you can get more healing items and get paid a better percentage, therefore making more money. This helps with Voltar making more money if he's not going to focus on getting kills. This benefits a supported playstyle so well, because you might not ever get a kill, but you could be hundreds of solar ahead of everybody else. So I'll try to explain the numbers behind it. So the base numbers, you can heal a minimum of 35 up to 105. 35 for one piece of solar, or about 105 for 2 pieces of solar. Beyond that, I haven't gotten to yet. So where I have my percentage of 2, where whatever I heal, it multiplies by 2%. So if it rounds out to a whole number, that's what I get paid. So I'll try to heal Ted and see what I get paid. Probably the same. Yep. So it's probably going to make more difference against droids. It doesn't really show its effect by itself. You have to really charge it up if you're not going to buy any healing items. So you can't just hold it down. I don't believe it works like that. Not really. You can't just hold it down and expect the Dreams of Greed to work, because it's, even after being multiplied by 2%, I'm not getting paid anything. You have to let it charge up just by a little bit. Even 35, 30. Even if I do 30, I still get paid. It looks like it's, I believe it's 25. At least 25 you have to heal somebody. Droids or Awesomenauts. Awesomenauts not a problem. But for droids, it seems to be that one, I believe it's 80, you'll get healed 2 solar. But if I let my heal wave be fully charged up, then I can get paid 2 solar rather than 1. So I don't have to let it charge up as much. It's arguable if it's worth buying Dreams of Greed just for that. It works much, much better for combining with other items, because 25 and up gets you 1 piece of solar, 100 and more gets you 80 or more gets you 2 pieces of solar. So combining that with Dreams of Greed helps very, very well with making money faster. Even if I just take my time healing, it makes a great big difference rather than just trying to spam it, because if I try to spam it, it's not going to make a difference. The percentage still does not help me in any way. So what I can do, I will show you how it looks being combined. So if I combine, I'm just trying to make Dreams of Greed make as much sense as possible. So even if so it looks like 120. Let me see here. Yeah, 2 guys there. It's a little difficult to show it off. It looks like 1 droid's being damaged. So 120, it's still 2 solar. However, bear in mind, if I can get it to 80 or more, then I can get that extra piece of solar. So if I get 1 Happy Thoughts upgrade, I can just hold down and still get paid. No problem at all. But if I hold it down, it seems to be 2. So you have to decide the right time of letting it charge up and the right time of having that percentage round out to that whole number. So right now it's not too bad. I'll give it a try on some Awesomenauts to see how it works. So on full, 140 appears to get me 3. So that works out very well. But if I were to buy another Happy Thoughts, with Awesomenauts, I get 2 apiece. It's a little hard to tell right now. Off that 10 of pain, 81 gets me 2 pieces of solar. So rather than 1 solar from 80 healing, I'll get that extra little bit. Just a little hard to see from all the anarchy taking place. So if I just hold on for a second and heal droids at least 80, I get that extra solar. So it can theoretically double your payout if you can just wait a second, especially with droids. Awesomenauts, if you max out Happy Thoughts and then buy Dreams of Greed, that helps very well with making extra money. So what I'll do, I will combine Euphoric Thoughts, and then I'll show a swap just with Euphoric Thoughts. Just let me think. Yeah, because on its own, not a great deal. 140 or more appears to get me 3 solar. So if I fully charge up Euphoric Thoughts, 220 gets me 4 solar. So let me see what Lone Star I get paid with. 240? I'm not sure that's correct. Okay, let's have a look down here, see what I can get. Try not to delay this too much. So yeah, even with just the 220 gets me 3 solar. What about Ted? If I can get close to him. About 4, about 5, but there's a lot of people in front of me as well. So if you're going for full-on healing, it can work very, very well for that. So if I were to let it charge up, 220, 6 solar, it seems to be. 3 each time. Something like that. So if you're willing to wait a moment and heal up droids, you can get paid a lot more. So I'll just show a quick little clip where I'm healing droids with just Euphoric Thoughts and Dreams of Greed, and then we'll carry on. So right now I got Euphoric Thoughts built with Dreams of Greed, so I'm going to quickly show how the payout is affected by having Euphoric Thoughts. Just wait for Raiden to take some damage. So fully decked out, 200 will get you 3. So if you let that charge up, 200, 3 or 4. Depends on the exact percentage. So do remember that I have my droids set to be dimmer than bricks. So I'm just, for the purpose of testing and demonstrating. So fully decked on droids appears to be 4. Appears to be, so 4 solar apiece on 180. So either way you want to go, you can make quite a bit of money each way. Just remember that you're a healer, not a businessman. If you're going for the most amount of healing, try to balance it with keeping everyone alive. However, if you're able to balance out healing and making solar, you can get ahead by a large amount. Because even just doing this, lots and lots of solar is mine for the taking. So you're probably wondering what the Euphoric Thoughts is. I'll explain that when I get to it. Just showing you what the payout percentage is with 2%. Alright, I'm taking a look at Twisted Nightmares. Can be bought twice. 125 solar. So what this item does, it adds damage to your healing wave. So along with healing your allies, it will damage enemies. So at the minimum, it will do 20 damage, it says. It subtracts 10 if it's droids, if it's a non-Awesomenaut. So it can do 20, and at the maximum it will do 80, or it will double that 80 if you buy twice. So we'll look at the first upgrade. So the graphics going to look like that. It's going to look a little bloody and twisted. So it's a great way to help with doing damage with people. Works for close combat. A lot of Voltars tend to combine this with range. I tend to be more focused on being supportive, so I rarely use this item. There are times where I wish I had got this one. But just in situations like these, if the Awesomenauts are too close, deal a little damage. So it's not a great amount. With fully charged up, does 70 to droids, and it will do 80 to Awesomenauts. So decent way to get people to back off, but it does not do a lot of damage. You have to wait for that to charge up. So you're better off combining it with perhaps euphoric thoughts and do that. And you also have your suicide drones with you as well. Just like that, able to take care of them quite quickly. So if you're going for more damaging, aggressive Voltar build, that could work quite well in that regard. So it seems to... Yeah, do bear in mind the range is not a lot, so you might want to combine it. It doesn't appear to do any damage against turrets. Just disclaimer, I don't use Twisted Nightmare all that much. So it's still a lot I'm learning from this item especially. So there's that. It doesn't do a whole lot if you charge it halfway up. You have to fully charge it to make it worthwhile. However, looking at that here, it's not a lot, but you can upgrade it again if you want. So it seems to still be, the minimum is still the same, but the maximum seems to be doubled. So if I double that, 140. So it seems to take off 20 against non-Awesomenauts. So fully charged against the Awesonaut running away. So it doesn't look like it does a whole lot. Just find Solar Boss maybe. Against Froggy G, it will do 160 if it's fully charged against an Awesonaut. So it's a pretty good way to get people to back off, or just try to do as much damage as possible. Works very well for self-defense. Just remember your priorities. Make sure that you're still healing people as well. So it doesn't seem to do any damage against turrets at all. So I got this Froggy G on me. Do bear in mind he's at the lowest difficulty just for the sake of testing. So it can work quite well, doing an extra bit of damage. Not too bad, we're taking on droids. Seems to work okay. So if you're going for more aggressive build, or you just want more self-defense, or just add some pokes while you're at it, that can work out quite well. If you let it charge up, it can do quite a bit of damage. You can throw off some people, and perhaps get the last hit, if you're going for that. Okay, last item in the belt is Euphoric Thoughts. It's 250 solar, and this is different from Happy Thoughts, is that it only adds to your maximum healing. Like, the more you charge it up, the more healing it does. It doesn't add anything to the minimum, as I will try to showcase here. To find some allies. Okay, let's have a look here. Use these droids as my test. So when I fully heal it up, it does 180 versus the 100 because it's droids. But it's much more effective if I let it charge up a little bit. At the very base, it doesn't change anything. It only affects the charge up. So if you're going for more spammy healy type of playstyle, this will not work very well. If you're going for maximum healing, perhaps. But then again, do remember that you can make quite a bit of money as well. So it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for more, if you'd rather let it charge up and do healing that way, or if you want to combine it with items to get more range or damage, anything like that. Just wait for Noston to get damaged just so I can show that off. Trying to get for it. Yeah, so if I fully charged up, add that 20 to the 180, I will get 200 per fully charged heal. So it seems to work quite well with burst healing, if you're able to keep it up. So you can combine this with Happy Thoughts to get more healing if you wish. Entirely up to you. But I don't think the most efficient form of healing is within this item. Combining it maybe, but there's a delicate sweet spot, especially if you're trying to get the most efficient payout with the wave per heal per wave type of thing. So yeah, not a great deal. I don't use this item often anymore. I tend to use Happy Thoughts, Psychokinetic Repulsion to fight off assassins, or if I need help and I don't have any, I got my wave to depend on. And I will get Dreams of Greed to increase my payout and help me get items faster. So hopefully that was of use to you. I hope you've learned something. Yeah. Thanks very much for watching.